Getting a liability-only aviation insurance policy is one way to save money on aircraft insurance, but it could leave you open for a huge financial loss. My name is Matt White, and I'm the owner of BWI Aviation Insurance. Let's talk about the pros and cons of getting a liability-only aviation insurance policy. Aviation insurance policies have two main coverages. The primary coverage is liability, and optionally you can add physical damage coverage for the aircraft itself. Liability coverage is designed to protect you from the increased risk and exposure that you have as an aircraft owner, specifically providing coverage for bodily injury, property damage, and legal defense. Liability coverage is typically offered at $1 million per occurrence and limited to $100,000 per passenger. No coverage for the pilots and crew of the aircraft. Let's talk about the pros of getting a liability-only aircraft insurance policy. Number one, it is typically the least expensive type of aviation insurance policy. You can get a liability-only insurance policy on average between $250 and $750 a year. This, of course, depends on the amount of liability coverage, the aircraft make and model, pilot qualifications, and in certain cases, the cost can exceed $750 for certain complex aircraft or pilot situations. Number two, if your aircraft is hangared or tied and the airport is requiring proof of insurance, a $1 million liability-only insurance policy typically includes premises coverage, which will satisfy the airport's requirement. Next, let's talk about the cons of carrying just a liability-only insurance policy. Number one, physical damage to your aircraft is not covered. This includes hangar rash, hail, or weather damage. And of course, if you have an accident such as a ground loop or gear up landing, there is no coverage to repair or replace your aircraft. Keep in mind that there are a lot of things outside of your control, like a bird strike or a fire in your neighbor's hangar that could damage or destroy your aircraft. Number two, if you finance your aircraft purchase through a bank, the bank will not accept liability-only coverage. They will require that you also get physical damage coverage for the aircraft itself. Number three, no coverage for emergency or unexpected landings. If you have to make an unexpected off-airport or forced landing and you only have liability coverage, there is no insurance coverage that will pay to get your aircraft back onto an airport. This is usually done via helicopter or disassembly and trailer back to the airport. However, if you have physical damage coverage, there is usually some coverage that will pay to get your aircraft back to an airport.